Once upon a time, 1,000 years ago, there was a nation called Ujjayini. In that prosperous and victorious nation, there lived a king named Vikramaditya. Vikramaditya ran the nation with his might and power in a glorious way. One day, the priest enters the kingdom and grants him an audience, and the priest goes up to the king and says,
Greetings, my king. I am priest Santasilan. I have been admired of your bravery and courage. It is so good to see you here. It is an absolute honor for me to stand in front of you and greet you. I thank you for giving me this audience.
You are most welcome, priest. I appreciate your humanity and wisdom. May I know, what do I owe this pleasure of seeing you?
My king, I am only here for your goodwill, and I would like to offer you this pomegranate that I have taken from my field. This is all I have to offer for you.
The priest then hands over the king one pomegranate. This surprises the king in a very pleasant way. This kept happening regularly every day. Everybody in the palace were quite accustomed to seeing a priest come every day and hand the king a pomegranate. The king kept saving the pomegranate by placing it in a massive bowl in his chamber. One day, the king becomes quite suspicious and he asks his minister,
What is the reason of the priest visit every single day to our palace?
Yes, my king, I also find this quite unusual for a priest to come in every single day. And why is he giving us a pomegranate all the time?
I am quite curious. Could you please go and you take a knife in order to cut this pomegranate in half?
The minister then brings a knife and cuts the pomegranate in half. As soon as the pomegranate is cut in half, to both of their surprise, what they say inside is the pomegranate filled with several diamonds. This completely shocks the king and minister.
What is this? This is the most bizarre thing I ever seen. Why would the priest come in here every day and give the pomegranate that are filled with several valuable diamonds?
This must be a way to get something out of you. Whenever somebody gives something this valuable, they always expect something back in return. You must ask the priest why he is doing this.
Yes, what you said is right. Definitely tomorrow I shall ask the priest what he requires from me.
The next day, the priest enters the palace again. While the priest was about to offer his pomegranate and go away, the king stops him and says,
Priest, why is it that you are coming here every day and giving me pomegranates that are filled with diamonds? Who are you really? And what is the purpose of your visit to my palace every day? Is there anything that you ask to me in return?
My king, I'll explain everything. Yes, there is something that I need from you in return. In the coming full moon night, I will be doing my pilgrimage to the goddesses of Devi. I would like you to join me in that pilgrimage, as it would be a very auspicious event for me. Your presence in the beginning of the pilgrimage to the goddesses of Devi will be extremely honorable.
So, this is what you wanted all this time? If you would have told me that this was regarding your pilgrimage for the goddess of Devi, I would have accepted it at the beginning itself. Why have you taken so much time to tell me this?
That is all right, my king. I am really glad that you have accepted my invitation. I am honored and privileged that you would be present in my pilgrimage to the goddesses Devi. I shall take leave now, my king.
I will be there without fail. Please go and have faith in me.
In the full moon night that the priest was referring to, there was an assistant for the priest. Both of them were waiting outside of the temple for the king to arrive there. The assistant looks quite worried and he is trembling in fear. The assistant asks the priest like this.
My priest, do you really think the king would come here today?
Vikramaditya is not like other kings. He is a very brave and phenomenal man with honor and dignity. I believe he will definitely be here.
The reason I am asking this, it's because we have done this 999 times before. My priest, do you think is that possible with this king?
I shall tell you the reason. The first time I met the goddesses Devi, she asked me what would I want in my life. I told her that I want immeasurable strength and power to do anything and everything I can in this world. I wanted the power of a god and the intelligence of a genius. I wanted the power to tear mountains down and oceans apart. As soon as she heard that, she kept quiet for a while.
What happened after that, priest? Did the goddesses Devi give you what you wanted?
And for that what the goddesses Devi asked me in return is the sacrifice of 1,000 kings, but under one condition, the last and final king, which is the 1,000th king, should be the most efficient and the most strongest among all the other kings. This is the reason why I have selected Vikramaditya for my final, the pilgrimage to the goddesses Devi.
My priest, but do you think Vikramaditya is strong and efficient that he can handle the trials?
I have no doubts that he is strong and efficient, but eventually he will fall just like all other kings before him, and I will finally become a god on earth. But what I also should do is to have a man of a priestly background to also be sacrificed in ashes. But these sacrifices are extremely important for me to gain all my powers that I need, and I have no doubts that it will happen in time.
After a while, the king enters the temple there. The king had kept his promise just as he had told the priest a few days ago. The priest then asks the king,
My king, you have come at the right time. Thank you very much for your presence for my pilgrimage.
Priest, it is great to see you. You have invited me to your pilgrimage for Goddess Devi, and I would like to ask you, what should I help you with? Please tell me.
My king, I appreciate you accepting my invitation. All I would like you to do is come on, go to the forest nearby. As you walk down this straight path, you will find a little demon named Vedal. I want you to carry him on your shoulders and bring him to me, as he is very important for my pilgrimage, as I have to burn that little demon in ashes.
Let it be, my priest. I shall go immediately and take that Vedal and put on my shoulders and bring him to you.
My king, but keep in mind one thing. The little demon will try to make you talk as much as he can. You must make sure that you do not utter any word while he is on your shoulders. Because if you utter a word, the little demon will go back to the place where it once was. This will further make the journey even longer and tedious. So my king, please be careful.
I have understood the instructions. I shall go there immediately and grab the little demon myself. And I will make sure that I do not utter a single word.
The king leaves the temple and he goes in search of finding the little demon Vedal. Meanwhile, the assistant is quite perplexed and asks this to the priest.
My priest, why is it that you have asked the king to go and bring the little demon Vedal? If your intention is to sacrifice the king, come on, you could have done it right here and then.
Listen to me. The reason I had let him go there is because I need Vedal to be here, so that I can sacrifice him and fulfill my wishes. So that I sent Vikramaditya there.
But why is that you have asked him not to talk Vedal? What is the reason behind that condition? And who exactly in this little demon Vedal?
That is long and old story. Vedal might be a demon right now, but in his past life he was a Brahmin. He was also a priest who was a strong devotee to Shiva and Parvati. He was an expert in several spells and wizardly activities. At that time, Shivan would tell a lot of stories to Parvati, and during these storytelling periods, Vedal would also be present at that vicinity. Parvati had asked Shivan to tell her stories that the world has never heard. Shivan decides to tell Parvati several bizarre and peculiar stories.
What happened after that priest? And how did that priest turn into a demon?
One day, Vedal started to eavesdrop and hear the stories that Shivan would tell Parvati. And after that, it became a habit for Vedal to go and listen to what stories Shivan was telling Parvati. And Vedal told the stories to his wife, and his wife started to tell the stories that he had heard from Shivan to everybody around his village.
What happened after that priest?
And after a while, all those stories which were privately told to Parvati became common knowledge around the nation. This angered Parvati extremely, and she decided to go and ask Shivan that why he had been telling her stories that the entire world already known.
What did Shivan do to him after that?
Shivan is quite surprised that his story have been common knowledge to the village. He then realizes it was Vedal that had been eavesdropping and listening to all the stories that he had been telling this whole time. And then he decides to turn Vedal into a demon and banishing from human life.
Oh my god, are you telling me that the priest has been a ghost ever since that incident?
Yes, you are right. This turned Vedal into a wicked little demon that cursed and ruined everybody's life.
So unless and until the king brings Vedal in his shoulders and burns him into ashes, this pilgrimage will not get over. Am I right?
Yes, you're absolutely right. Unless and until the king brings Vedal to us, our wait will never end.
Meanwhile, the king walks in that forest path and he finally spots Vedal sitting on a tree. As soon as the king looks at Vedal, the king moves towards the Vedal. When Vedal sees the king coming towards him, Vedal gets really excited and he starts talking to the king.
Welcome, my king. Seems you have come here finally after all these years. I have been waiting for you for 1,000 years. Come on, my king. Come on. Come and take me.
No matter what the demon Vedal said, the king did not care at all. He remembered the advice that the priest gave him and he kept very quiet.
My king, I have been cursed by Shivan to be a demon for the rest of my life. This is a curse that cannot be taken away from me until you do something about it. I have been banished from being a human being for 1,000 years, and Shivan has promised me to give me a chance in redeeming my life if I accomplish the task that he has given me. That is why you are here, my king, to fulfill my destiny and to surrender to my wishes.
The king does not say a single word as he knows it would be a mistake. The king then goes towards Vedal and he carries him and puts him on his shoulders. Vedal decides to do everything he possibly can in his power to start making the king talk. As the king kept walking, Vedal started talking to the king like this.
My king, the journey that is ahead of us is a long road. Maybe we should have a chat. I would like you to have a conversation with you, or I would like you to tell you a story. Aren't you fond of stories? Once I finish telling you the story, I will also ask you a few questions. If you answer those questions correctly, I will let you go. If you answer those questions incorrectly, I will chop your head off into 1,000 pieces. Or if you choose not to speak anything at all, my curse will be broken. So, you would have to make your decision, my king. Are you ready for me to tell you the first story?
The king is carrying the little demon Vedal on his shoulders and kept walking in the forest path without uttering even a single word.
So, I hope you have understood the deal. My king, I shall tell you my first story.
As Vedal was about to tell the story, we would like to let you know that if you would like to know that what the first story was, and if you would like to know how the king you correctly answered the questions of the little demon, please stay tuned to our channel and wait for Vikram Bethal part 2. If you like this story, do like it, share it. For more new stories, please subscribe our New Stories Book English YouTube channel.